Hey, everybody. I don't know if who all we got on here already? 13 people. All right, looks like we got James Berger on, Dickard with Dave, Jake Chris Beck, videos by Al. How are you guys all doing tonight? Jimmy's ordering some champion juice on lagerwade.com still. That's funny. No champion juice tonight. I got to work tomorrow. But I don't have to go until late. Ryan Leon. Ryan Luan. We're here. All right. Gary Johnson, how are you doing, Gary? Sorry I didn't give you a call this weekend. Been a little busy and life going on. So Barry Hanson, I have had a shave. I also cut the old hair. Not much left up there. Ryan Luan. Holy crap, you said my name right. Videos by Al. Your beard is short as mine is. Michael Owen, greetings from Detroit. How are you doing, Michael? Greetings from Missouri. But those of you that like the whole beard thing, don't worry. It'll be back in about a week or so. Gary Johnson, get your ears lowered. I did. I know Sandy says it's the wrong season for haircuts there, Jimmy. I know. Going to be cold up top. It is. I took my hat off the other day when I was outside. It's like, whoa, that was the wrong idea. John Warren, how are you doing? From the land of Lincoln tonight. You're not up in Iowa? WB Ball 15. Hello from Omaha. Well, hello from Missouri. All right, Ryan Luan, just keep it family friendly if you could, please. Plaza Towing, how are you doing, Plaza Towing? Tony Lobner. Jake Respect, I never cut my hair in winter. GoPro guy, what does it take to get one of the cranes behind you? You can actually order them. You can order them from Tadano's website, or you can order. There's all of the manufacturers have die-cast versions of their cranes, so you can order them online. Blue Line Landworks, what's up? My first child turned 1 today. Well, happy birthday to your first. John Warren's trucking to Chicago. Dirt Perfect, how are you doing, Dirt Perfect? Hey, from Derby, Indiana. You're right down Wade's neck of the woods. Dean, I'm probably gonna botch that, but is it Mashiro? All the way from Hawaii. Boy, I wish I was in Hawaii. It's probably nice and 70 and sunny there. James Bergeron said the video of fixing the airport beacon was interesting. Alex Williamson's Blind Adventures, how are you doing? That airport beacon, it was one of those. I wasn't going to break it any worse than what it was already broken, so I figured I'd give that a whirl. GoPro guy, by the way, hello from Nebraska. Oh, you're just kind of north and west of me. Well, hello from Missouri. Yeah, that beacon was crushed. Whoever had it on the end of a boom and ran it into something, I mean, they virtually destroyed it. Andy B. Hello, Andy B. Dirt Perfect. Yep, Wade's the best neighbor a guy can have. When my son and I went down there to visit Wade and to hang out down the area, we stayed in Twin Lakes Cedar Log Cabins. That place was pretty nice. Jay Chris Beck say missed most of the live feeds this weekend. Sciatica's weird. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Anyway, the axe auction's over with. It is going to channel name D McDonald. I'm going to throw his a link to his site up here as soon as, or his page, as soon as I figure out how to do it. He's only got a few subscribers. He's only got a few videos. They're about 10 or 11 seconds long. Just some drone videos where he's playing around. But D. McDonald was the highest bidder. So the axe is going to a new home. I told him after the live stream was up, I would send him an email and we could do the PayPal thing, and I will try to get it shipped out tomorrow. So the axe auction is over. Thanks to everybody that participated. If anybody is curious, D. McDonald's highest bid was $300. So that is how much we are going to be sending to 98.9 The Rocks Hope for the holidays. Yeah, Blue Line Landworks. That's what it was. I thought about doing an online raffle, but it's illegal in some places. So $300 is what D. McDonald was willing to spend on it. So he has bought himself a Christmas present, and it will be residing at his place as soon as I can get it to him. So I will take care of it until then. After it leaves my house, I'm not responsible for it anymore. But it's a beaut, D. McDonald. I don't know that I'd go plunging it into some wood. I guess you can. It's yours. But I just hang it on the wall. D. McDonald says it's a great cause. Read some of the stories on the station's website. Happy to help. Well, I appreciate your involvement in it. Okay. So got that out. Let's see what else we got. What do we have coming up? Going on the wall, he'll send pics. Perfect. When you send pics, I will show them on a live stream. So we'll cover the details of that, D. McDonald, when this is all over. I'll shoot you an email and we will get it headed your direction. So what do we have coming up soon? D. McDonald says, thanks, everyone. Thanks for donating the axe, Jimmy. Actually, Jennifer Murtha Stevens is the one that donated the axe. She sent the axe to me and told me I could do what I want with it. And I didn't want to just hang on to it. So that was the best thing I could think of to do with it. So Jennifer Murtha Stevens, thank you for making that possible. I will send one of her cards. Right here, Stevens Axe Works. I will send one of those with the axe. I will probably send one of these with the axe. What else are we going to send with the axe? I don't know. I may put together a little package to send with it. Also, I know he's not on here. He's probably working. I got some mail the other day. Got some stickers from Jason Works a Lot. So if you guys haven't checked Jason Works a Lot out, go over and give him a view. And don't be afraid to hit his subscribe button. He does some funny stuff. But I put him up on the sticker board. He is right there below Elite Earthworks. Let's see. You guys probably can't see that very good because I got it dim in the back. But right there below Elite Earthworks is Jason Works a Lot. So I had to put those two together because they're buddies anyway. So I couldn't split them up. Let's see. Who have I missed? If I missed me, Rogue Excavating's in the house. How are you doing, Rogue Excavating? Jake Respect, gotta have a hat to look like a proper axeman. Lawn Commander, I did have a beard trim. It'll be back in a week or so anyway. My facial hair grows so fast, it's ridiculous. Dirt Perfect, love to get some stickers for the kids. How do I go about that? Dirt Perfect, who do you want stickers from? I know Elite Earthworks has got stickers for his channel. Jason Works a Lot's got stickers for his now. I've got a few left. I need to order some more. But you can reach me. If you look on the About section on my channel, I've got an email in there. It's tothetopcrane@gmail.com. You can reach me by that. But I'm not the best about getting stickers mailed out because, one, I'm crazy busy between work and YouTube and all that. And the other is I don't use a calendar for anything. So I'm kind of disorganized when it comes to sending stickers out. Let's see. Sandy, you can join our 6-hour weekly live stream. I'm not doing a 6-hour live stream. TJ Hardy, hey Jimmy, you collecting stickers from other locals in the country? If anybody wants to send me stickers, I'm going to put them up on this board. I've got some stickers from Local 150. I've got some stuff from Local 317, which is IBEW. But yeah, I've got stickers from a little bit of everywhere. Richard Savalio, how are you doing? Jay Chris Beck, wish my hair on top grew. The funny thing about getting older is it quits growing up here and it grows down here faster. I don't get it. Anyway, what do we have coming up? Sleeping in tomorrow because I got to go into work late. And we're working nights Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly Thursday. I guess Monday night's going to be a pretty late night, and Tuesday might be an all-nighter. So there will be some operating a crane in the dark video coming up. Don't fix that 6-hour live stream was lit. I'm not doing another 6-hour live stream for a while. That's a lot of talking for one person. Jason, Sandy says the Jason Brandon live streams turned into 6-hour affairs. I think we knocked off around 1 a.m. Ooh. TJ Hardy, if you want to send me some stickers from Omaha, that'd be awesome. From Local 1463. Lawn Commander got 16 inches of snow down there in Asheville. I'm assuming that's North Carolina. That's a lot of snow for the Carolinas. They're not really equipped to deal with that, are they? Jay Chris Beck says he loves the Jason and Brandon show. And they've got an awesome thing going with that, doing that every Saturday. And Brandon's channel has really exploded. So congrats to Brandon for having the fortitude to stick that out. I think he's put 90-some videos up, and Brandon started his channel shortly after I started mine. I think he started his channel maybe 2 months later, and he's done a very good job with it. James Bergeron couldn't stay awake anymore for the Jason Brandon live stream last night. Sandy's facial hair grows straight out, looks absurd with a beard, so he has to stay clean shaven. Barry Hansen, not far from Mike McCoy. Jay Chris Beck, that's a true story. Said the ratings change as it wears on into the night. I think even on my 6-hour live stream, I may have let one bad word slip, and it was towards the very end. But I've done a pretty good job of trying to keep this thing all family friendly. So ADB says, thanks for answering video comments so fast. Good job. I know I've missed some comments, but I try to get to everybody's comment. It's really hard to do at times. But I'll show you my secret for keeping up with comments, or trying to keep up with comments. So I use TubeBuddy, which is it's an application that you use on YouTube, but you can get it on your smartphone. And it throws your comments up kind of in an order on your phone. I don't have notifications turned on for it, so I just have to check it occasionally. But that it definitely helps. If you start a YouTube channel and you're going to try to make it grow, TubeBuddy is a good app to use. I mean, it just helps you with your analytics and all that good stuff. Just helps you keep track of everything. Now, let's see. Jake Respect starts out family friendly, and then around 10 or so, it all snaps loose. TJ Hardy says, Jimmy, what exactly do crane operators want the signal person to give distance? I'm not sure what you're asking for there, TJ. Is like distance as far as when you're cabling down with something, or is there another way you can reword that question where it's a little more precise on what you're looking for? James Berger on. I need to back up. Says next week's going to be kind of a bad week for me. We're going to be clearing my great grandpa's shed next week. He passed away in 2016. Sorry to hear about that, James. That will be a rough time. Doug H. How are you doing? Have you ever used a gourmet crane or had much experience with them? I have not. Also, what we got coming up, for those of you that don't know, I have contacts. I don't typically wear them all the time. That's why you'll see me squinting a lot when I'm looking over here at comments on the live stream. But ordered glasses the other day. So this will be the last live stream you guys see me on, probably without glasses. So let the jokes fly when that happens. Sandy H, we got one of those mini spider cranes on a job site because they're taking the stairs and elevators out. Those little spider cranes are pretty cool. Alex Williamson's Adventure says he used White Tea Creator Studio, much smaller. Ryan Luan joining the glasses fam. Yeah, and I've had glasses in the past, and then I switched to contacts. And yeah, I mean, contacts have their place, but working outside and being sometimes in dusty environments, it kind of sucks. And then I'm not the best about taking them out at night, so then I end up with contacts in my eyes for 2 or 3 days, and then my eyes are on fire. And so we're switching from contacts back to glasses. Videos by Al says, be happy you made it till now. For glasses, I started at 6 years old. That's a long time ago. Well, I'm assuming unless you're 10 years old now. But I think Videos by Al has said before that you may be older than I am. Sandy says, join the glasses club just as I'm leaving. Sandy must be getting LASIK. Right, like go to the gun range. I don't need safety squints, as AVE says. And I do watch some AVE videos. Oh, Sandy said his are now somewhere at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. That happens when you get in the ocean. That's why I don't get in the ocean. Lakeside Ranch, how are you doing? This is Jimmy. Fantastic channel, sweet video quality, and awesome narration of your craft. TubeBuddy user as well. Retired from local 275 Massachusetts. Been a YouTube guy since 2006. Doing a lot of drone video. Well, welcome to the channel, Lakeside Ranch. And thanks for the compliment. I do what I can to narrate what I'm doing. Sometimes in the videos I'm concentrating, so I know when I'm concentrating operating the crane, it kind of takes away from the narration of what I'm doing. But it's which one's more important, and operating the crane is the most important. So if I have to screw ups in narration in order to operate the crane safely, then you guys are just going to get a quiet video. But I'm hoping I'm getting better at telling everybody what I'm doing on my videos. Kind of at first, I took for granted that people knew what I was doing or what was going on. And as time has progressed, it's been brought to my attention that, hey, I need to go into a little more detail on some of this stuff. So that's what I've tried to do. Oh, Alex Williamson's Blind Adventures. He said, if you think that's bad, imagine having to have your eyes polished. Lakeside Ranch said, thank you, Jimmy. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Check me out if you enjoy RC and drone videos. I absolutely enjoy that stuff. I don't know how to go to your channel without losing my chat window here. I will definitely check you out, Lakeside Ranch, and I would encourage everybody else to do so. I'm going to jot that down. I love RC car stuff, and at some point I'm going to get a drone. I need to. No tech top of the evening to you as well, sir. Josh Wellner, Sandy, that can't happen when you have too much fun. How are you doing, Josh Wellner? Yeah, I've still got some of my old RC cars. I guess I could make a video of resurrecting one of those things if you guys want to see it. I've got an 8th scale nitro that I probably haven't had it on its wheels for maybe 3 years. And it's a pretty fast car. It's an old Thunder Tiger Mirage V-Spec. So it's a .21 size nitro. I'm guessing if you lean it out a little ways, you can get it pretty close to 55 miles an hour. Alex Egenberger, if you looked into adding some narration after the video has been filmed and do it while it's editing. Like voiceover, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. I did just a little bit on that Canopy video when I told everybody about the music I was putting in. I don't know about voiceover because to me that kind of stuff sounds so fake. Like what you're putting in was an afterthought. So I don't know. I suppose I can. Sandy asked, doesn't nitro run pretty lean anyhow? It does, but if you lean it out too much, man, you'll cook those little nitro engines. You have to. I mean, you don't have to, but I use a temp gun when I'm setting the carburetor on my RC car, or used to, just to make sure I wasn't getting it too hot. Krista Bow, how are you doing? So what else do I mean, what's next on my video queues? I've got a lot of footage saved on my computer just because going into winter, it might be hit or miss. Actually, I can't say going into winter. Now that we're in winter, it might be hit or miss on getting some footage. So I've got a lot of footage saved on my computer. I could upload. We rebuilt a hydraulic cylinder on our 100-ton. It's a counterweight cylinder that raises the counterweights up. I've got footage on that. It's not the best, but nevertheless, it's footage. What else do I have? I've got footage clear back from last July, I think, of just odds and ends stuff. Sandy says, buddy of mine growing up used to have nitro cars when we were in high school. I was always tinkering with the electronic parts of it. Lakeside Ranch, I am using Adobe Premiere Elements 2018. I was using HitFilm Express because it was free, And I decided at Jason Works a Lot's suggestion, I checked out Adobe Premiere Elements, and it's pretty cool software. Michael Owen, that's a good point. Best operator voiceover was one Jay Prater did while running double barrel pan. It probably would be easier on some of those videos where I'm doing some real technical stuff and I'm kind of botching up the narration while I'm doing the video. Maybe I will throw some voiceover in it. We'll see how it goes. Alex Williamson's Blind Adventure. Not sure you've seen my Volvo video, but there's an RC wheel loader in it. I have not seen that yet, Alex. Lakeside Ranch. Very nice, very cool software. You're a wise man. Wise, I don't know. There's a little or a limited amount of stuff that goes on between these 2 ears. My day's not going too bad. I actually took a couple-hour nap earlier just so I could stay up later tonight, so I could sleep in the morning, so I can work tomorrow night. And I've got, I'm going to show you guys some tricks as far as operating a crane in the dark. Sandy says a lot of times narration works to describe highly technical stuff when you're busy. Yeah, I'll give it a whirl. We'll see what happens. I'm sure narrating while I'm recording, when I'm operating in the dark, my narration might not be the best. So we may have to do some voiceover on that. Operating a crane in the dark is sometimes a little nerve-wracking because a lot of times you can't see exactly. I mean, it takes away a lot of one of your senses that, I mean, Alex Williamson's Blind Adventures would know all about that, but it takes away a lot of one of the senses you really rely on when you're operating a crane, and that's most of your sight. Yeah, but golly, just wanted to say hi or hey from KC. I'm assuming Kansas City. That's hello to my neighbor to the south. James Bergeron is actually doing a video a few days ago. Unfortunately, my main camera died halfway through, and head-mounted camera was getting in the way. That video where I was working on the cord reel on our 100-ton, I recorded it with my phone. So Andy B asked, what's the lift in the dark? It's actually, we're going back to the same facility that we were at when we swung the jib. So my jib video where I showed where I was installing the jib, it's actually gotten over 20,000 views now. That's blown my mind that many people want to see a jib being put on a crane. But anyway, we're going back there. We got to take some roof panels or some roof hatch lids off of the roof at about 186 feet. And then we're going to set tanks down through the roof of that facility. Sandy says, I imagine it screws with your depth perception too, working in the dark. It absolutely does. Reven Riggin stopped by to say hi. Didn't know there was a live stream. I got lucky this time. Thanks for the channel. Good stuff. Hey, thanks for the compliment, Reven Riggin, and thanks for stopping in. Feel free to stay for a while if you'd like. Alex Ekenberger, I do have some lights on the crane, but they don't project that far out. I mean, I'm going to be almost a 200-foot radius. I'm going to have close to 240 feet of tip height, or 240 feet of boom, almost 250 feet of tip height. Lakeside Ranch naps are for old people and babies. Jimmy, you're way too young to be napping. I'm gonna be 42 in July, so I'm getting up there. I'm old enough to know that naps are not a bad thing. Much respect to you for safety first attitude. Big 2 thumbs up from here, Doug at the ranch. Thanks, Lakeside Ranch. Thanks, Doug. Tyson Dykes, how are you doing tonight? Just got back from taking that 500 back down, made it home just in time to see. Tyson Dykes operates the almost twin to the crane that I operate. The way he found my channel was he got thrown in the seat of that machine and was looking for information on it. And lo and behold, mine was about the only channel on YouTube that shows crane stuff that he was looking for. And fortunately, it was almost the same machine. Long Commander, why are we doing it at night? They won't let us put the crane boom over the facility while it's in operation for safety reasons, and I get it. So they got to wait until the work inside the facility is done for the day and everybody goes home before I can stretch the crane out over it. Krista Bow's going to be 36 this year. Reading Reagan, heck yeah, I did some pics to a radius of 180 feet. It was bright sunlight, and I had a heck of a time seeing the signalman. Nights mean require radios. We will have radios. Andy B, I don't know when I'll post it. And I was told I'm going to have a lot of downtime between picks. So I'm going to make a pick, and then I'll probably be sitting for a couple of hours and then make a pick. So I don't know. I may throw in a quick live stream from my phone inside the crane if you guys want, if I can do it and not interrupt what we're doing. I mean, if I'm just sitting still with the pin drops through the deck and not doing anything, then I may fire up the phone. We'll do a quick live stream. James Bergeron, would it be possible to make some magnet mounted LED lights to put on the boom of the crane for working at night? I've got there's a light mounted at the top of the stationary section of boom, but it doesn't reach out that far. So we'll see. And also, I had a company reach out to me. They sent me an email. Actually, Andy B. Suppose Yellow Fall Pole in one video. That's at a facility where they unload some tanker trucks and people have to get on top of them. So that's their fall protection system that when they climb up on top of the trailer, they can hook their harness to it and walk back and forth across the top of the truck and have fall protection. Tyler, I'm not even going to try on your last name, buddy. I don't want to mess it up. But how are you doing? Anyway, I'm going to read this email to you guys as soon as I find it. Okay, so this email was sent to my tothetopcrane@gmail.com. And it says, hi, friend, this, and I'm not going to put the name in, is such and such from marketing department of C&I Light Company, which is specializing in car and motorcycle lighting products. I really enjoy watching your fabulous videos. I'm assuming they probably haven't watched, but maybe one of them. I was wondering if you are interested in our product. Samples will be sent for free. We'd appreciate if you can make a product review on your YouTube channel. So what they're going to send me is 2 7-inch LED light bars. And then they want me to make a review video of it. So I sent them an email back. I was like, sure, send them to me. I'll see what I think of them, but I'm going to have to use them for a little while before I make a decision on is it going to be a good review video or a bad review video. So there may be some of that coming up, and I'm not going to be one of those channels that just goes out and asks everybody to send me something so I can review it. Here's my plan, and I'm going to let you 61 viewers that are watching right now, or 60, where they're dropping like flies. But here's my plan on that review video. I'm going to actually review those lights. If they suck, we're going to test the durability of them with a 20-pound sledgehammer on video. So if a company wants to send me stuff to review, if it's good stuff, then I'll give them an honest, good review on it, and we will tell everybody, hey, this is a pretty neat product. You'll know if it sucks because towards the end of the video, the 20-pound sledge will get broke out. And at that point, we will turn their product into pieces. Okay, let's see. Josh Wellner gets some Dura bright lights. They're good, made for boats. Just don't look at the money. It'll reach out a half mile or better. Tyson Dykes Murphy Law crane work. One, if it's sunny out, you're going to be picking while staring right at it. That's absolutely true. Two, if there are trees on the job, you'll be asked to set up so they are right in your way. That's also true. Dalton Feeks, he needs one of those police helicopters. Right. Lawn commander, maybe some KC daylighters. I should take the 4 off the front of my truck and mount them on that crane. However, those KC daylighters draw too much amperage for what power can go through the reel that runs power out to the end of the boom. So I don't know. We'll see. Rogue excavating rigid LED light bars. Because I'll let the hammer drop. Null Tech, don't be a reviewer. Like, no, I'm not going to be a reviewer channel. And Andy with Cut and Clean, he said, man, I would like to see you do reviews on tools and all this stuff that you work with. And, you know, he said, you've got DeWalt tools and you've got Snap-on stuff. And he said, I'd love to see you just start making tool review videos. And I don't want to be that channel. But if someone's going to send me free LED light bars for me to try them out, sure, I'll give them a whirl. And if they suck, we're going to smash them. Sandy asks, how many amps can that reel run out? On that one, there's, I think, 10 different conductors in there. And I think the maximum on any one of them is going to be around 6 amps. It's not a lot. Chris DeBoe, do you know about Buffalo Road imports? I do not. Andy B finds some 24 volters. Then those LED light bars that company's going to send me, they said it'll work from 12 to 36 volts. So I may be able to toss one of those onto the end of the boom, kind of pointing down, but I don't know that they're going to do me any good. I mean, 240 feet or 250 feet in the air is a long ways up. And I also don't want to blind the people that are on the ground. You know, if they look up to find the ball, I don't want them to lose the ball due to the fact that they're staring into a light. Lawn Commander, they do have LED daylighters. I don't know what they're like. They actually have inserts I can get for my lights that I have on the front of my truck that switches them to LED. So, but when we go to set up for that nighttime job, I'll show you guys a few tricks that we crane operators use. At least those of us that know the tricks, but I'll show you guys a few tricks, what we use when we're working in the dark. Kind of makes things a little easier. Paul Johnsman, welcome to the channel. He's from Ohio. Well, hello from Missouri. What's the heaviest thing I've ever lifted? Lifted a 179,000-pound gas turbine generator shaft is the heaviest thing I've lifted. Heaviest thing I've lifted with the Tadano that's on my channel is that 129,000-pound propane tank that is in one of my videos. But yeah, you guys will get to see some of that. Now, as far as footage goes, what all do I have? I recorded, we set a house the other day, believe it or not, another house. I got a little bit of footage of that. I didn't record setting the whole house, but I did record the part where the house was stuck. They were pushing on the front of it with a dozer. I was hooked up to it, taking some of the weight off of it because it was sinking into the ground. And so I recorded some of that, but that was about it. Alex Egenberg says, being up that high at night, are you going to be required to run a red light up top if you're not? If not, do you know at what height you would have to? I'm going to have a red light on top. And I just posted a video of me fixing the red light for that crane. So you will get, if you want to watch a video of me resurrecting a broken LED light, it's now on my channel as of yesterday. Crawler Holler, hello from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hello from Missouri, Mark Fiden. That's my dad. Late logging on, been a while. It's been determined. Has it been determined where the axe is going? What did it bring? It is going to D. McDonald, and $300 was the winning bid. And I'm working on, for those that I asked before about my dad's channel, I'm working on getting it set up. We ran into some issues getting some of the channel art made, and then also on some of their video editing. They bought a camera, which they forgot and left here. One of these little Vivitars for $50. And it's kind of a POS. So I told them just to record the next one with their phone, and we'll try to get something put on my dad's YouTube channel when we get it made. But we're one step closer to making my dad's YouTube channel. Rogue Excavating did a review on Deer 317. Deer hated it. They actually asked me to take it down and figured a hat and t-shirt would buy me. Oh, yeah. One thing about it, if a company, and I hope every company that's planning on sending me something for review is watching right this minute. If you send me something and it's a piece of crap, everybody that watches my video is going to know it's a piece of crap, and I will not take it down. Because I'm not one of those people. I am not going to make it. I'm not going to go through the process and ask my subscribers to watch a video of me reviewing something and then give a dishonest review. So if it's good stuff, you guys will know it. If it's bad stuff, you guys will definitely know it, because the 20-pound sledge will have its way with it. So any companies that want to send me stuff for review, I will caution you, your stuff better be good. If not, the whole world's going to know it, and I will not take the video down. Tyson Dyke's got a concrete panel lift coming up with its Donald. Can't wait to see what she's made of. 50,000 picking from outside the building should be fun. Tyson, I did a precast job last year with the 180, and your 160 we have determined is pretty close to the same as the 180. There's a few subtle differences. That thing will surprise the crap out of you on some tilt-up paint or on some precast concrete. Sandy says, lighting on dragline, one of my customers, impressive to say the least. I don't remember exactly how many, but they've got 20 or 30 massive metal halide spotlights. TJ Hardy, what's the longest amount of time you've had a piece rigged to the crane? I've sat and held stuff for like 14 hours before. Mark Fiden said, did you say 100 or 300? It's 300. So the axe brought 300. It's actually D. McDonald, Dad. Just thought I'd let you know that. Andy B. Hammer the camera. I would hammer the camera if it was mine, but it's not. It's my parents'. I'd be smashing their $50 camera. MSL Logging, how are you doing? Didn't think he was either for a minute. Yeah, I lost some beard. Jason Works a Lot. How are you doing, Jason Works a Lot? Would like to send me some vodkas for review. Reading good. A straight shooter is what you came across as, and exactly why I like your channel. Honesty and real crane info, not BS. Yeah, I'm not going to throw any BS out there on this channel. It's real or nothing. All right, let's see. I got to scroll through here. Tyson Dykes, hey, brother, family just got home. Going to go hang out. Have a good evening. Keep it up. Bring on the sledge, baby. Thanks for stopping in, Tyson. Be safe out there with that 160. Just because it's a horse and it will continue to surprise you, don't let yourself get in trouble with it. Josh Wellner got cold and 7 this morning, snow. Jason Works a Lot, says he's tired, trying to deal with some sound on his next video before heading to work. Trying to think what else we got coming up. Sometime around the first of the year, I went and looked at a job at our local rock quarry. we got to go in and take apart a rock crushing plant and install a new one. I think the heaviest pick on that's going to be right around 100,000. We'll probably be there for 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week. So we'll get some footage there, and that'll be something new and different. Also, some of the footage I've got that I need to get edited and uploaded. We went into a rock quarry and took apart a rock sorting trommel, pretty similar to what you see on if you watch Gold Rush or any of those shows on Discovery Channel. We took apart a trommel and shipped it out. So I've got some of that footage to get put out. Man, I just, if you guys ask for it, I probably got footage of it. Blue Line says, I'm trying to convince my wife to get me a DJI Osmo Pocket, which is the same camera as my drone, but handheld. Oh. I don't know how expensive those are, but it sounds like your wife should get you one. You can use some of that YouTube money. Dalton Feek says, Jimmy, I think you can do better than Stan the Dirt Monkey on tools reviews. I'm hoping I could do better than Stan Dirt Monkey on a lot of different things, but he's been at it a long time. He's got quite the following. Mine is still growing. I don't know what I'm up to now, 4,200 or so. So I've got a long ways to go. All right, Lou on hello, YouTube money. Blue Line about halfway there with YouTube money. Remember, you got to keep taxes out of that. I'm sure the old YouTube income has caught up with more than one person on taxes when it comes tax time. Doing okay. How are you doing, Frank? Asked how the weather was doing. Weather up here has been pretty good. I think it's going to be 41 tomorrow. I know the other day it was cold, but it was 70 and sunny inside the crane cab. But outside it was pretty chilly. Lawn Commander just got a GoPro 7. Now need to learn how to use it. I've heard good things about the old GoPro 7. I just don't know that if it is that much feature friendly or more feature packed than the 5 and 6 to justify buying another camera. I know I got an email from GoPro the other day asking if I wanted to trade one of my cameras in towards a 7. So I don't know if GoPro would give me what I paid for my Hero 5 and ask me to make up the difference. I'd probably do it. As long as the batteries and stuff are the same. So I'm going to hold one of my Hero 5 batteries up, Lawn Commander. You can tell me if it takes the same. Are they like this? Blue Line Landwork says, I'm telling you, you have to check out the Osmo Pocket. I'll check it out, Blue Line. J. Chris Beck, you've been doing your Christmas shopping on loggerwade.com? Yeah, that was from Jason Workslot. Cold in Louisiana is t-shirt weather in Missouri. Why are you guys in Louisiana? Thought you were going to Texas. Oh, Long Commander says the batteries are the same. I may check into a 7. I don't know. I don't know what it does different. They're different. J80, guess who? How are you doing tonight? I'm thinking I'm going to get a new chair for down here. This one's getting where it's kind of uncomfortable. I need to put me a recliner in here. Sandy got precisely 0 accomplished today because of that. Brian Lewon, just stabilization on the 7, almost identical optics. So the video stabilization's better. I'm trying to keep up on comments. They're kind of rolling a little fast. Oh, you can do live streams on the 7? And I think you can do live streams on the 5s or use your 5s and 6s for live streams. You just have to have some software or something to make it play with your computer. Ryan wants it way better. Lakeside Ranch, hey, thanks for stopping in, and again, welcome to the channel. I don't necessarily consider this my channel. I consider this all of our channel. If there's something you guys want to see, let me know and I'll try to make a video of it. Barry Hansen, use your YouTube money for a new chair. By the time I take taxes out of what I made on YouTube, it wouldn't buy a chair. I don't know. I could probably buy another one of these. So, yeah, MSL log says mine pops up and says set up live, but didn't do nothing about it. Okay, so I guess you can use the 7s for live streaming. Like, I guess it's built into the camera, which would be cool because I bought a dedicated camera specifically for live streaming. Of course, it was only $80, but if you had one of those cameras, it would be $80 you didn't have to spend. So I don't know. One thing I'm figuring about this YouTube thing is if you're going to make a serious go at it, it does take a little bit of investment. I mean, granted, you can use your phone and upload video from that. And I mean, it works, but yeah. J80, can you do a video of you gargling M&Ms without breaking any? You said anything. I mean, I suppose I could, but if I choke and die, it's your fault. And now you have 60 witnesses that you killed me. So do you really want me to do that video? Josh Wellner just thought if the light I fixed doesn't hold up, am I going to take a hammer to it? Am I? Sure. After I order a new one, I'm going to order a new light for that, and I'm going to keep it in the crane. And but I am going to see how long that one I fixed, see how long it lives. So what'll happen is either that light will fail before I get a new one ordered, or I'll order a new one, have it in the crane, and the one I fixed will never fail. Ryan Luan says, investment for sure. You're going to lose out at first like a business. That's a fact. I mean, it's like anything that you start. The key is sticking with it. The YouTube thing is a marathon. I've been going at it now since February 3rd of last year. So I'm closing in on a year. And I think I've uploaded 100 and some videos. And it really is kind of like a second job. But it's pretty rewarding to get everybody's feedback and have so many people interested in what I do. So it is fun, and I've met a lot of neat people doing it. MSL logging, hey, thanks for stopping in. Have a good, safe week this week. Sandy says, that's the way it always seems to go, Jimmy. It's a thing you don't have spares for. That'll be what dies on you. Absolutely. Lawn Commander does live stream, Instagram, Facebook. I never had one, so I have to learn what it does. Huh. All right. James Bergeron says he's gained a few subscribers since last month. And that's what'll happen. I mean, it'll go in spurts, and just like over Thanksgiving, my channel really blew up, and then now it's tapered back off again. And Elite Earthworks channel, right after mine blew up. Hey, there's the Elite Earthworks now. Speak of the devil. How are you doing tonight, Brandon? But when mine started tapering off, Elite Earthworks channel really took off. He's got a video that it did over 100,000 views in pretty short order. And I think his channel's still, I mean, it's still going, still gaining at a pretty rapid pace, but I think it's starting to taper off a little bit. And Brandon, if it does taper off, dude, don't get discouraged about it. Like I told you on the phone the other day, when your channel's doing this, and I mean, actually mine was doing this, and then it did this for a little bit, and then it came down, and it almost makes you feel like your channel's dying when it comes down. But then when you start looking at your stats, you realize it's not dying. It's just kind of normalizing. And so my stats today are better than what they were before Thanksgiving, but they weren't, but it's not nearly as strong as it was around Thanksgiving. So ride that wave while you got it, Brandon. Hopefully it stays. But if it doesn't, don't get discouraged. Just keep doing what you're doing. Tim C., how are you doing? So he's been interested in cranes for most of his life, particularly the last 38 years. However, made a life operating helicopters. Helicopters would be cool. Maybe I need to get into that. Maybe I'll get into being one of those helicopter lift things with a helicopter. Reeve rigging will hit in the long run, as everyone I've ever met finds cranes to be at least interesting, if not a curiosity. Cranes, that's true, Reeve rigging. Rogue asked me what kind of sensors or systems does the crane use to sense the weight of the pick. So, Rogue, there's a transducer in the hydraulic circuit on the boom cylinder, and that's what it uses to calculate the weight. Rogue X fan, don't be a dirt monkey. I won't be a dirt monkey, I promise. Ryan, helicopters are expensive as all heck. Absolutely. Also, Rogue Excavating, there's transducers in each outrigger jack cylinder that tells me how much weight's on each outrigger. And that is a very handy function to have. It makes it real easy to tell where your weight's, I mean, you obviously know where your weight's transferred to, but it makes it really easy to tell how much weight is transferred to one side versus the other, or one corner versus the other. And kind of tells you if one side's starting to get light. So that's handy to have. But the main sensor that calculates the weight of the load is on the boom cylinder circuit. John Warren, now I can be an interactive Jimmy, parked 50 miles out from the Windy City. Were you just listening in the whole time you were driving? And also, John, you're probably not real far from Rich Savalio. You ought to, he's on the old Facebook. You ought to reach out to him, hit him up for a tour of the area. Michael Owen uses hydraulic pressure in the boom cylinder, boom length, and boom angle indicator to do the math. That's a fact. Michael Owen is either a crane operator or mechanic, sounds like. Jay Kurzbeck, I'm okay with being plagued with severe sciatica. Makes me uncomfortable. So, yeah, that sciatica stuff has got to be pretty nasty. J80, YouTube, too much work and investment for the payoff. That's why I don't do welding videos. Already too many welders on YouTube. That corner is wrapped up. Um, you just would have to find a niche way of doing it. I don't know how you would do that. If you started making welding videos, I'm sure we could probably get you some subscribers. I watch welding tips and tricks, and that's about the only welding channel that I watch, I think. But I mean, there's a place everywhere on YouTube for everybody. It's just a matter of getting your stuff out there. Michael Owen, engineer, ran cranes from a young age, started with quick way friction rig. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of the friction rigs. I've been an oiler on one. That's plenty. Reven Riggin asked, "Does my weather station shut me off like a 2 block when the winds get gusty, or does it just warn me? It doesn't even warn me. It just shows on a screen what my wind speed is, so it doesn't shut me off." Lawn commander have to be a gamer to make money, and really, um, gaming channels would be hard to break into right now because it's just so saturated with gaming channels. So it is a lot harder to make something out of YouTube if you are if you're going to take a market that's pretty saturated and try to jump into it. TJ Hardy, what's so bad about friction rigs? They are a workout. You have to hold brakes and hand clutches, and they're just a lot of work. So not only do you have the normal stresses of operating a crane, but there's a lot of work in a friction rig. You're constantly moving. Reven rigging around old friction rig. We don't have any fancy stuff. Yeah, it's a run it with your butt kind of machine. The old friction rigs are. You just have to feel what it's doing. Yeah, Michael Owen, exactly. He said a friction rig is completely different animal than a hydraulic crane. And I've seen guys that were good on a friction rig that aren't good on a hydraulic crane. And then I'm sure I would be one of those guys that's decent on a hydraulic crane and not very good on a friction crane. And then I've seen guys that can operate both like they were born in them. So, reason rigging, a lot of work is an understatement. Pulling two functions to stop the boom hoist on the way down. Yep. And we have acquired an old link belt friction rig for offloading bulk material out of barges. And so far, I have done very good about avoiding it. Of course, we haven't had to offload any barges yet. But yeah, I'm going to try to avoid that thing like the plague. Sandy said most of the Dock Maritime construction shops down here run friction cranes. And I would say that's probably because some of the older friction rigs are pretty cheap nowadays in comparison to newer hydro. And then also, you wouldn't want to take $1 million crane, put it right there on a dock to live the rest of its life. I would think that environment would be pretty hard on a machine. Michael Owen ran one for demolition outfit, breaking foundation concrete. Boring. I could see that. Reven rigging. Just be careful with the old link belt lattice booms. Yeah, and that friction rig we bought is an old link belt with an angle iron lattice boom. And yeah, that's why I'm staying out of it. Lawn Commander, I didn't even know you could get paid from YouTube until last year. You can. Um, the jury's still out of whether or not the reward is worth the effort. I guess long term, by the time you get to the point that you have a whole bunch of subscribers, um, it can be pretty lucrative. It just takes a long time to get there. Jason Works a lot says, Jay, Chris Beck, both wifey works a lot, and I both suffer from serious back pain. Well, Jason Works a lot. That's because you never take time to slow down and relax. You've got to be the single busiest person I think I've ever seen. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't wifey works a lot, do a lot of horseback riding, which that could probably be the source of her back pain. Woofy W, how are you doing, Woofy W? TJ Hardy says, do you ever run cranes like a Manitowoc 888? I just work for the one company. I worked out of our hall for a while, and I've played in some lattice boom crawlers and whatnot, but I pretty much park my butt in the seat of that Tadano 180. Occasionally, I'll operate some other equipment that we have, but I work exclusively for the company that I'm with. Don't get sent out anywhere else now. Blue Line Land Works. For anyone wondering, I average a whopping $6 to $7 per day. Yeah, and by the time you figure up your editing time, equipment costs, and all that, you're paying yourself at $6 or $7 a day. You're paying yourself about 15 cents an hour on YouTube. Jay, do you think it has to be a hobby or a passion? And if it takes off, it does. If it don't, it don't. That's a fact. Canon Customs, how are you doing tonight? I got paid one time from YouTube before they changed the rules. Reven rigging. The most fun on a friction rig is the swing, freewheeling when you go into neutral and needing just the right amount of swing back to catch the ball. Fun stuff. Josh Wellner, one of the highest paid YouTubers, is an 8-year-old kid. My kids loved the channel. Ryan's toy review. Yeah, and I don't get it. Some of the best performing YouTube channels have some of the dumbest content. Like PewDiePie. Really? I don't understand that at all. Maybe I'm not supposed to, but I don't get it. Maybe that says a lot about society. Let's see. John Warren says, okay, I'm going to back you up a little bit on reviews. That way Wes wasn't able to pay WD-40 review because they was afraid of bad reviews because he's point blank like yourself. Yeah, if someone asks me to review something, they're going to get an honest review. So Rogue Excavating asks, hey, Delete, what do you see for watch time every 28 days, if you don't mind me asking? Reven Riggin, got to run, Jimmy. Got to make some dinner. Be safe out there. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Reven Riggin. Rogue, that would ask an elite that right now too probably wouldn't give you a really good idea of what it's going to consistently be. If you look at analytics from 28 days ago, you'd probably get a better picture, and then look at analytics about 28 days from now. Right now, his channel's going crazy, so his watch time is going to be through the roof. But yeah, like he said, I'm not monetized yet, so I see nothing. And I would even tell you what I get for my 28-day watch time, but it's going to be inaccurate as to what it consistently is because of my bump that I got over Thanksgiving. Kansas Customs Kid channels have crazy reviews. That's a fact. Sandy says, "Not says a lot about who's buying ads for what. YouTube knows that they can sell a whole bunch of crap on channels like that, so they send all the most expensive commercials that way." Dickered with Dave. How are you doing, Dave? Get your champion data juice at loggerweight.com. Blue Line Landworks says last 28 days, 261,000. My channel spike is not holding out. It is started fizzling out a little bit. So I'm higher than what I was before the channel spike, but it's not going crazy near like it was. Now for my last 28 days, let me see. Brandon, was that your watch time minutes or your views that you posted up there? I think that was probably your watch time minutes that you posted. It's 1,076,000 watch time minutes. So, like for my last 28 days, and this includes my bump during Thanksgiving, I've had 123,933 views. And my average view duration is 8.5 minutes. But I also put out, 25 and 30-minute videos. Yeah, Elite said, yeah, it's slowed down some. And that's what I figured out has happened or is happening now. This is my best guess on how the YouTube analytics thing is working. And I kind of explained this in a text the other day. So I think what happens is YouTube takes all of us small creators and kind of puts us in this big pile. And then they gradually pull one out and they take one of their videos or two of their videos and they kind of put them out to a larger audience and see how it does. And that's when we get the big bump in our analytics and views and whatnot. So depending on how the channel does as they've got those videos laid out there would probably determine how soon they pull that channel back out and do the same thing again. That's what I'm guessing. So I'm guessing it goes through a big cycle. Everybody gets their opportunity to shine, and depending on how well they shine when they give them that opportunity will determine how soon that bump comes back around. That's pure speculation on my part, but that's kind of how it seems like things work. ADB, you posted, I read it. Let's see. Elite did have a small viral video, Blue Line. I think it's over, what is that video up to now, Elite? About 110,000 or 15,000 views? Rogue Excavating says, well, I don't have any spikes, just a steady 13% climb. And a steady increase is always a good thing. I mean, as long as it's constantly increasing, you're growing. If it does this and it stays in that trend, that's when there's an issue and you need to change something. But I mean, it's going to do this as your channel grows. And as long as it's continually trending in the right direction, and the best way to look at it is look at your 90-day stats and kind of keep up on some of that stuff. John Avery, how are you doing? He says, do you watch Gold Rush? I do watch Gold Rush. And those guys taking apart that dredge with a crane is sketchy. Do you need a crane certification nationwide? Actually, as of December 9th, I believe, crane certification is now required across the nation. So I'm not sure how that's going to play into Gold Rush's deal if those guys aren't crane certified. Now, if you're operating a crane for one company, I think your employer can do a crane certification for you in-house and file the paperwork and all that stuff, and you're still legit. But like crane rental, where we're going out and working for other companies and stuff, we have to have from an outside entity crane certification. I'm going to get the actual standard, and I'll let everybody know how it reads, but we'll see how that goes. Brandon, how are you doing, Brandon? Not Brandon Elite Earthworks, but the other Brandon says, hey, man, what happened to Jimmy? Who's the new guy? Jimmy just lost some facial hair. Jay Chris Beck says, Jimmy will be back in a week. That's funny. Elite Earthworks, congratulations on that. He said that video's hit 112,000 views. That is spectacular. Jason Heltzley, how are you doing tonight? Says, sorry, I'm late. Jimmy, lost track of time. What did I miss? You didn't miss a whole lot. I mean, like any of my live streams, we're just on here chatting and rambling and carrying on. Brian Angel, hello from Shreveport, Louisiana. Enjoy the videos. Have I ever attended a crane rodeo? I have not attended a crane rodeo. But hello from Missouri, and thanks for enjoying the videos. Do I think they got the dredge move this summer? I'm not sure. Tim C. said his job could be interesting, but cameras are not allowed in the helicopters. Well, mount one on the bottom of that thing, put a remote on it, and just start shooting footage. You would have the biggest drone on YouTube. Rogue Excavating, thanks for the answer, Jimmy. I mean, that's the best answer I could come up with, I think. I could go into probably more analytics details, but the person to talk to about YouTube analytics, and he's not on here tonight, is Jimmy Stractor. He's been studying that stuff for a long time. Woofy W, congrats to whoever got the axe. Let's see. This is who got the axe. D. McDonald. Brandon, if they wanted to get that dredge move faster, should have hired the top crane. I don't think the old Tadano 180 is going to fit on that barge that they use to run up and down the river out there getting their dredge pieces. John Warren says, makes me wonder if you're using for your own use, would you still have to be certified like they're doing on Gold Rush? The way I understand the way the standard's written is if you are working, like operating a crane for the purpose of your company's business, you can do a fairly basic crane certification program in-house and keep the paperwork on file that says, hey, this person has demonstrated they can operate this crane safely. We've gone over all the ins and outs of it, and they're good to go. But I'm not 100% certain on that. I still need to read the final rule on it. Jason Hilsey said, I found your video yesterday interesting. How did it do? I haven't mounted it on the crane yet. We're going to do that tomorrow night. But so far, it works with a 20-volt DeWalt battery hooked to it, so I don't know why it wouldn't work on the crane. Brandon says, I doubt there's any crane certification loss in the Yukon territory. If they wanted to go out there and pick a fight with them, they could. It's still in the country. Tim C, that would be cool, but I'd be fired after management watched a video at one time. Yeah. True story, Sandy. So Brandon says their barges are super sketchy too. Sandy says, is anything they run not sketchy? Yeah. J. Chris Beck says, hey, gang, I'm going to go do some stuff, get ready for work tomorrow. May or may not be back for the goodbyes. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Chris. Hope your back gets to better or gets to feeling better. Oh, yeah, that's right. Brandon says they wouldn't be allowed to do half the stuff they do in Gold Rush in the U.S. That's right. The Yukon territory where they're at, they're in Canada, aren't they? I was thinking they were in Alaska. My wife doesn't like watching Gold Rush with me because I tend to yell at the TV. It's frustrating to me to watch someone continually fail at doing something when you know the answers like right there in front of them. And I've been watching Gold Rush since the very first episode when Todd Hoffman and them went to Porcupine Creek and everything they touched fell apart. And then when Todd Hoffman went to the Yukon, I think they had the final drives blow up on an excavator and they were freaking out about it and they couldn't get the seals for weeks and their machine was going to be down. I'm like, dude, just take the cover off that thing, pack it full of gun grease, put her back together and run it. You know, drive it like you borrowed it from someone off the street until your seal gets in, and you can put gear oil in it. I mean, I don't know. It's just stuff like that. One of the best was they had a 3-wire harness come apart, and it was going to take the guy. He said it was going to take him 3 days to solder the wires back together and put the harness back together. I'm like, dude, if it takes you 3 days to solder 3 wires, you are probably in the wrong field and then way over your head. James Bergeron didn't watch Gold Rush anymore. Elite Earthworks never watched it. Blue Line Landworks, Todd Hoffman was a joke. I really liked it when he went to South America. Holy smokes, talk about an utter failure. That was terrible. This is Canon Customs. Your video was good on hydraulics the other night. Make me bad on Gold Rush with the acting. Yeah. Which video on hydraulics? Was it the one where I was drawing on a piece of paper? Because I had a few people tell me they had to shut it off because they just couldn't follow along. Yeah, Brandon says he's been watching Gold Rush from the start too. Todd Hoffman didn't even seem to care about making money. Jason Heltzley, that's true. Says may have been a joke on the show, but he's got a heck of a singing voice. Noah Tom, how are you doing, Noah Tom? Dalton Feeks, they try to milk it, get paid by the hour. Oh, Math DJ01, how are you doing? Did anybody see the Purdue University clock drop failure? It was a couple weeks ago. I didn't, but I'm going to have to tell my wife about it because she got her undergrad at Purdue. John Avery says the Discovery Channel drama kills the show. It's like they get paid to be dumb. Rogue Excavating, don't be a Todd Hoffman. Oscar Prado, anyway, you can make a video on Grove and Liebherr 101, how to navigate the computer in the upper. I can't because I don't have access to one. Otherwise, I would, but I don't have access to a Grove or Liebherr to navigate the computer in the upper. Otherwise, I would make one for you. If you asked if I could make a video of setting the computer up in the Tadano 180, I can absolutely do that all day long. J80, when I was field mechanic, I pumped the front idler on a Mini X with red grease. It works. It does work. I've packed a planetary full of grease that was supposed to have 80 weight in it and kept it running. I mean, when your mechanical seal on the back side goes out and you got no choice, I mean, you got no choice. Pack it full of grease and carry on until you can take it apart and fix it right. At JD, the drama is to rope in people with no knowledge. That's a fact. Kind of like a certain YouTube channel that I'm not going to mention, but I think Rogue Excavating may have mentioned his channel name earlier. Let's see. Ryan Luon, what's that link to? I'm not going to click on it because it'll jack up my live stream, but what's the video that's linked to? Oh, Brandon got it right with Monkeys of Dirt. Dalton Feeks. The only good show was Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. Agreed. G4 Outdoors, The Beard. How are you doing, Randy? Oh, Ryan Lewis says it's the video of the clock drop. Okay. I'll check that out after the live stream. The Beard will be back in like 2 days, Randy. It's nothing. Jay, I've seen Woods mowers run for years on red grease. Yeah, I've put gun grease and stuff where it was supposed to have gear oil in it and it survives. No, Tom. How much wheels do you have on the crane? Seems like a lot. There's 10 on the carrier. Let's see. 4, 8, and 16 on the dolly. Mike Manfred, how are you doing, Mike? Tell Charles I said hello. G-forces, you look like you lost weight. Did your light wind up working? The light is working. I haven't put it on the crane yet, but it works on with a drill battery. Looks like I've lost weight, probably because I'm wearing. I think the shirt they sent me is like a 2X, and then I lost a bunch of beard. Jason Helsley's your beard like Samson's hair. Is it where all your strength is? You cut it and you lose all your strength. I hope not. Anytime something drops from I'm assuming that clock dropped from a crane. I haven't watched the video, obviously, but anytime something drops from a crane, it's not good. If no one dies and something, if no one dies, then I guess you can laugh about it and learn from it later. But Brent says, Let's Dig's a drone video was pretty cool. John Warren, we ran grease my final drive on 2595 case for half season until I could tear it apart. It happens. Dalton Feeks, Dirt Monkey paid that guy. It was all the Bass Chevy, so everyone would buy a Ford. I'm not even subscribed to him anymore, so I haven't even seen that video that you're talking about. Oh, Ryan Lewis said it dropped from a crane, hit a lift with 2 dudes in it. That's scary. Lawn Commander. I should grow a Lawn Commander beard. I've heard that the Lawn Commander beard is pretty lengthy. So my wife wasn't digging the beard that I had when it was like down to here. I can't imagine what. Yeah, she would probably cut it off in my sleep. Noah Tom says, just recently found out about your channel and really love it. Great content. Thank you. Thanks for tuning into it. And feel free to spread the word. That's how we grow is, YouTube channels grow by people saying, hey, check this guy out or check this channel out or watch this video. That's how everybody grows. Mike Manfred loved the strobe light repair. Yeah, that was kind of just an impromptu, let's see if we can make it live again kind of deal. And it worked out. Patrick Anglin, do you remember? I do remember the Big Blue accident. That's one that any crane operator knows about. Terrible deal. G4, Let's Dig Lakes look like you didn't even touch it. Comparatively, that lake is completely silted. I haven't even watched the video. I'm so far behind on watching people's content. It's really hard to watch everybody's videos when you're also creating videos. It's editing, creating videos takes a lot of time. Jason Helsley, funny thing is I have the exact same pair of lounge pants he had on that video. Canon Customs, I do watch Ron Pratt. Actually, Ron Pratt and I kind of chat back and forth occasionally. I'd say we talk to each other once or twice a week anyway. Ron's Ron's got some video coming up that's pretty cool that I'm not going to tell anybody about, but he may or may not have towed something similar to what I operate. So I'm assuming since that lake that Let's Dig keeps working on, um, I think he said a long time ago they have to go in there once or twice a year or something, or once a year, once every 2 years. They should really build a pond up ahead of that lake to catch the silt. They would be money ahead. No, Tom, when's the next crane video coming out? Maybe tomorrow. We might throw a video up, and then maybe Wednesday. I'm going to try to get on a schedule where I'm doing 1 or 2 videos a week. I'll probably do one week, 2 the next week. I don't know. It all depends on work schedule. If work slows down, I may be able to get a video up every day, but I'm going to shoot for quality instead of quantity, and we'll see how it goes. JDS, how long I shoot for a 20-minute video on average? Typically, my 25 and 30-minute videos is 6 to 10 hours of a day, a work day, with kind of the highlights picked out and stuff put together. For me to edit a video like that, if I use both cameras, it takes me about 4 to 6 hours of editing to put together a 25-minute video. Of a, like, okay, let me back up a little bit. If I have a 10-hour day using 2 cameras and I make a 25-minute video out of all the footage, it takes me 4 to 6 hours of editing to put that together. Brandon, when is the Jimmy Ron Pratt collaboration video happening? I don't know. Ron Pratt's on the other side of Missouri from me. So at some point, I'm going to make a trip down there and hang out with Ron for a day. We've talked about it. I told him I'd like to come by and check out his truck, his rotator, and meet the guy. I mean, he's a great guy. So, TJ Hardy. Now, don't crane operators have a lot of time on their hands? We do have a lot of free time at times when we're sitting in the cab. But I don't have my computer in there to edit while I'm sitting in the crane. Jason Shepard, ever thought about getting a bigger crane than what you have now? I don't own the crane, so that decision is not up to me. I just work for the company. I don't own it. If given my choice, I would, if money was no object, I'd buy the new Tadano 600G-8 when it comes out. But I would probably go with the Tadano ATF 220, and not because it's a better machine than the 180, but it's a similar sized machine, but just has a little more capacity. But we haven't had to really give away any work that our 180 couldn't handle in our area. So it's not like a bigger crane would do that much more for us. Brandon, have you ever seen Plaza Towing? I do watch Plaza Towing. J80, wow, labor of love. Canon Custom says it's in Let's Dig's video. They won't let him build a pond in front of the lake, some law or zoning. See, that to me is insane that they're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars dredging that lake out when they could put a sediment pond in ahead of it and catch all that sediment and then not have to mess with that lake ever again. They just have to dredge that little pond out every now and then. Mike Manfred, I appreciate that. Says we appreciate the hard work you put into your videos. No, Tom, know of any other good crane content. The only other one that I know that uploads occasionally is Mammut. If you find them, they upload once or twice a month, but Mammut does some stuff on a ridiculous scale. It's unbelievable some of the stuff they pick up. Andy B, I'm also subscribed to 1140 Rotator. Brandon says this is the best crane channel on YouTube. I appreciate that, Brandon. If I'm not mistaken, I'm probably the only crane channel on YouTube doing what I do as far as consistently uploading stuff and, mixing it up to where it's not just pics, but showing you guys some of the behind the scenes stuff. And let's see, that would be a good question for everybody. Do you guys want more of the behind the scenes stuff, or it seems like my videos where I'm showing like rigging and stuff like that gets more views than the actual pics that we make. So, do you guys want more of that, or do you want just me to keep doing what I'm doing? Mike Manford, love Ron Pratt's channel. I do too, and we need more Ron Pratts in the world. He's a great guy. Jay says you're lucky. Company I work for won't even let me take a picture of my work. We've actually picked up customers from my YouTube channel, so. Let's see, trying to catch up with comments here. Jason Heltsey said the link belt crawler, we did the video on belong to our company. If not, do you think we'd ever buy a crawler? The link belt does belong to our company, but the only reason we bought it was to run a 5-yard clam for unloading bulk material out of a dredge. So James Bergeron says, or out of a dredge, out of a barge. James Bergeron says, I'll always be loyal to the Top Crane subscriber. I appreciate that, James. Lead Earthworks, run what you brung, I guess. That's a fact. Brandon, behind the scenes videos are really cool. Combination video is good. Jay says, do what you do. It's working. It's fact. Crane setup. Okay, I can get some more crane setup, but typically, and I've said it before, I don't do a lot of recording while I'm setting the crane up on a customer site. And the reason being is it does take me a few minutes here and there to set up camera shots and whatnot. And I can't be fiddling around with that while the customer's paying an hourly rate for the crane. So if I can get it in there, if I can hit record on my camera and get it in there while I'm on the move, then I'll do it. But I'm not going to run off 50 feet, set up a camera, hit record while I'm setting up one side of the crane, run over, grab that camera, move it to the other side, hit record. I mean, that's money out of the customer's pocket, and I'm not going to do that to our customer. D. McDonald says, keep doing what you're doing. Nice to have a mix behind the scenes and actual lifts. Alex Williamson's Blind Adventure says he likes the mix. KO behind the scenes stuff. Tim C, a channel called Soren 66, posts good videos of crane operations in Germany, mainly from a spectator's perspective. Let's see. Try to get caught up on comments here. So I'm apologize. I'm skipping over some, but no, Tom, what kind of licensing do you need for big crane like the one you operate? I've got crane certification through our union that covers me from from the smallest hydraulic crane up to the biggest one on the planet. So I can operate any hydraulic crane on any job site with the certification that I've got. So I did have someone mention that they wanted to see more of the underneath side of the crane. So after the beginning of next week, when I get it back in the shop, I'll take my good old creeper into work and camera and flashlight underneath the crane, and we will get some footage of all the driveline, steering components, suspension, all that good stuff. So that will be pretty behind the scenes for you guys. Patrick Anglin, how are you doing? Says, have you ever rigged tall light poles so the nylons will self-relieve themselves? I have. So I don't have any footage of it. I've got some pictures of it, I think. But I don't have any video footage of it. I wasn't doing YouTube at the time, but I have rigged some light poles just like what you're talking, where you hook a hook on the bottom, run a strap up the side of it, throw a loop around it, and then continue up to your hook. And then when you come down off of it, that loop opens up and it allows everything to drop to the ground. JD's Steelworkers 4708. Brandon, Jimmy, cool channel. Check out his VCG Construction. Mostly tool talk, but those guys have built a really neat community of people in all areas of construction. That's cool. I'll check them out. And I've actually picked up a lot of subscribers just by being involved in comments and being involved with other channels. So it's great to become involved in other channels, communities that have similar content or like-minded people. Andy B says A-Bomb 79 is a great machinist channel. I haven't watched any of A-Bomb stuff. I watch This Old Tony every time he puts a video out. James Burron says I like to watch the videos because they're entertaining and also educational. I try to be educational, but I also want people to understand that I'm doing this for entertainment purposes only. But I want everybody that watches to get the sensation that they can sit in that crane and operate it. And that's one of the reasons why I started doing more of the hard hat camera in my last few videos. And because it really does kind of give you guys the same perspective of what I see when I'm sitting in the crane. So next hard hat camera video that I do, if you plant yourself in a seat or in a chair and imagine a joystick in each right hand, you could almost feel like you're operating the crane from the perspective that you're getting out of my hard hat camera, because that is about as close a view as what I can get you guys on that. Mike Manford says we have crane ops that do rigging all the time when we set concert power poles. I do some crane rigging occasionally. You know, if I go out on a job with one of our boom trucks and the customer's unfamiliar with rigging, I'll get out of the cab and rig it. And then I also have gone out as an oiler for our other crane. I actually made video of it. Occasionally we'll get shorthanded and I'll have to go be an oiler for a day. And so I do some crane rigging then. So Brandon said VCG Construction get up to 350 people on the live streams and they go live every day. Wow. The 350 people on a live stream would be very hard to keep up with. I mean, I've got 60 on here, and sometimes it's hard for me to keep up with it. Rogue Excavating says, remember Tony Beats is in Canada. That makes sense. Canada Custom says, Brandon's channel and live feeds have helped my channel. Thanks, Elite. Yeah, and it's all about helping each other out. I mean, I will help anybody try to grow a channel. If you know, if you want me to do a shout out for you, if you're in it to win it, and I knew Brandon was from the beginning, because just he was going after it like a man on fire. I kind of take Logger Wade's approach with that kind of stuff. If I know you're in it to win it, I'll do what I can to help you try to build your channel. Now, if you're going to throw one video out every 6 months and whatnot, it doesn't do you any good for me to mention your channel name, send a bunch of people over there, and then you don't do anything with it. And, Logger Wade has the same approach. He will help anybody that he knows is really trying to get going. Brandon's got to take off. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Brandon. As always, I appreciate you joining in. So Michael Owen says Logger Wade has 318 right now, but he doesn't even try to keep up with everyone. So Wade's live right now too. And I think he's probably on this pretty similar schedule I am. He's doing one I think he does one maybe every Sunday, and I'm doing every other Sunday. J80, should you stockpile some videos before you ever post the first one? I didn't stockpile videos before I did mine, before I did my first one. At first I was going out shooting a video and uploading it that day or the very next day, and then going out shooting a video and uploading it, and then I've learned that, hey, a person's got to stockpile some footage just in case, especially in my field where we might go a week or two without any crane work. So, there's times that I have to fall back on some of that footage that I've got stockpiled. Michael Owen says consistency is key on YouTube. Yes, as long as you're consistently uploading. Anybody that's doing a new channel should be uploading at least twice a week. Anybody that's just trying to get started. If you're trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, you need to be uploading at least twice a week. And I would suggest uploading twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. And if you can fit it in, get a live stream in there if you can get some people watching a live stream, because the live streams definitely help your watch hours. And Elite Earthworks can attest to that. If you need to get to your 4,000 hours, you start busting out some live streams. You can get 4,000 hours pretty rapidly if you can get some people involved watching. But once you get to 1,000 subscribers and your 4,000 watch hours, you can't take a break, but you can maybe slow down just a little bit. And when I say slow down just a little bit, if you were uploading 3 times a week, maybe 2 times a week. But the first that first run at it, trying to get to 1,000, you got to really be putting content out. And Michael Owen says the big channels put something out on a pretty consistent schedule, and content isn't that critical either. Now, I'm going to shoot for quality over quantity. And at first I was into just getting stuff out there, getting the quantity out there. And the reason being is the more footage you have on YouTube, the more opportunities for people to discover you. Now, if that footage sucks, that's probably your click-through ratio is going to be pretty high. But if you can consistently put stuff out there 2-3 times a week, you will get noticed at some point. Elite Earthworks, especially when they're 5 hours long. That's a fact. Matt DJ01, do cranes wear out, or do they just keep rebuilding and repairing them until they rust out? What about the wire rope cable life? As long as you maintain them, they will last a long time. And when I say long time, decades. So keep the booms greased, keep the rope lubricated, and the wire rope, if you take care of it, it can last a long time. Talking years and years on wire rope. So it's all dependent on your maintenance schedule and keeping up on stuff. As long as you maintain it, it will last a long time. It's just like any other machine. Elite or Rogue Excavating, any of those guys can tell you, you can go buy a brand new skid steer, and if you don't take care of it, it's going to be a pile of crap in a year if you just go out and abuse it and don't take care of it. Or you can take a brand new skid steer and you can put some effort into maintaining it, and it'll last years and years and years and be pretty trouble free. Elite says he tries every other day, but it's a pain, and it is a pain. I mean, it is hard to maintain an every other day schedule on YouTube when you're working another job. So Jason Heltzley says, how do you determine who goes out on a job, and what do you do when you don't have any crane jobs? I don't determine that. We have an equipment manager that schedules all of our cranes and personnel, and it's kind of like playing chess because you only have a certain number of machines and a certain number of people, and so you're trying to maximize your day or your people's day by moving people around from one place to the next and taking care of this customer and this customer, and it's kind of like playing chess. But I don't determine that. I get told where I'm going to be, where to go, and I go there. Now, when we don't have any crane work, we typically work on stuff in the shop, maintenance, repairs, um, servicing stuff, and sometimes I just go home. I if I want to take off at noon on a Friday, if we don't have anything going on, I typically take off at noon on a Friday. But this fall and winter has been a strange one for us. We've stayed pretty busy. Digging OK said it had an interesting stream last Sunday. I think that's when you were welding on that cylinder, wasn't it, Frank? J80 says a sling chrome and change tires also. You think that variety is good or overwhelming? I don't know. I'd give it a whirl, make some video of it, throw it out there. Andy B, it helps to have the same operator every day. It does on a job. If you're on a long-term job, it helps to have the same person every day. Yeah, Digging OK has a link belt from the 40s. Elite Earthworks, my one employee is hard on my machines. Elite Earthworks, your one employee, that's the rocks that are hard on your machines, rocks and all the crap that's in the ground in Joplin. It still blows my mind that you can get the stuff done you can down there in Joplin with all that old trash in the ground. Jason Shepard, how are you doing? Says, have you ever been to the Heavy Equipment Expo in Las Vegas? I have not, but I'm going in 2020. So March 10th through the 14th is Con Expo in Las Vegas, and that's in 2020. I'm going to go out there then. JD, if you deal in too many different subjects, does it appear you are not an expert in any? Not necessarily. There's I know a lot of people that are smart with everything they do. Maybe not an expert in everything, but I think a person can be pretty well rounded and have a fair bit of knowledge in everything that they're involved in. John Warren says, very true. I've got a 1972 IH tractor that's still very tight because the guy I bought it from was very good maintenance program. Yeah, and that's what it amounts to, is just taking care of it. And especially when the stuff is your livelihood. I mean, when you depend on a machine to make you money, you want to take care of it. Rogue Excavating, I can't make comments on the Monkey Dirt channel anymore. I did call him out in a video also, though. JD, my belt says I'm well-rounded. Jason Heltzley, nothing better than being a jack of all trades and master in none. Digging OK, yes, it is holding up well. J80 should have a channel very knowledgeable on his welding. He knows his stuff. I say start one up. Start a channel up and see how it goes. We'll help you get it going as much as we can. I mean, sure, there's a lot of welding channels out there, but if you can show something from a different perspective, Even if it's like when you're recording if you're welding two pieces of plate together and you put a camera underneath to show that you're getting good penetration. I mean, I think you could make it. I mean, I encourage everybody to give it a whirl. Just know that if you're in it to win it, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some commitment to make it happen. Triple X, when hoisting heavy load with a crane, what happens if the engine suddenly shuts down? Does it drop the load? It does not. It's got holding valves on every circuit that is important as far as it's got holding valves in all of the outrigger jacks. It's got holding valves in the boom cylinder. It's got a spring applied brake in the winch, so it won't drop the load. You can have it boomed up and cut the boom hydraulic hose, the one that goes to the boom cylinder, in half, and it'll stay put. Elite Earthworks brings up a good point too. It's worth it because of the people you meet. I have met some fantastic people on doing this YouTube, and it really does kind of turn into a big family. I've talked to Elite a lot on the phone. I have yet to meet Elite in person. Missed my opportunity as far as going out to Bunyan. But at some point, I'm going to jump in my truck and run down and hang out with Elite for a day. He'll probably put me to work is what will happen. I'll get down there and he'll shove me in his skid steer or his Mini and put me to work. But hey, it'd be fun and it would make a good video. So Brandon's only 3.5 hours away. So you may see the old white Dodge pull into one of your jobs one of these days, Brandon. Or anytime you want to come up here, you are more than welcome. John Warren says hasn't found any really good welding channels because going to take part of a big project for the farm involved lots of welding. Michael Owen, that's a good point too. A different welding channel would be showing what happens when you're not in ideal conditions, paint, rust, what have you. Yeah, there's not a lot of the welding channels that go into, hey, what rod do you use when you're stick welding on rusty material outside in the rain? I mean, real life experience that you're going to run into while welding would be a good channel content to have. Jay, he said Dano K sent me here. I say give it a go. Make a video, throw it up. Send me a link to it. I'll spread the word. I know Elite will help you out. I know Frank will help you out. Alex Williamson's adventure said, I'd like to meet you too. I'll probably make a trip out there to the East Coast at some point. Before I do, I will let you know when I'm going to be there. I know I'm driving to Florida next summer, so I'll probably go down and hang out with Sandy and Sid Vicious and Jimmy's Tractor and anybody else I can run into while I'm down there. Lead Earthworks, please. I drive a Duramax, may not make it up there. I think you'll do okay. I know I was laying on you pretty thick one night about the old Duramax, but that's the only reason that I had that much ammo as far as laying it on pretty thick is I've got a buddy that's got a Duramax. And at the time, he and I got into like a meme war back and forth. And at the time, I had a 6-liter Power Stroke, and he was hammering me about it. So I had a whole bunch of memes saved on my phone and blew him up with them. And I just happened to use those same ones on you. Mike Manfred joint live stream with Elite and To the Top Crane. We've done that. I've had Mike Manfred. I've had Elite on my channel, and I've been on Elite's channel. But it would be cool to have him in the basement in here shooting the breeze with everybody. Andy B, just 4 more hours to go. Jimmy's not doing a 6-hour stream tonight. J80, I can cover welding on junk. I'd say make a channel, make it happen. J80, 7.3 only power stroke worth a mention. The 6 liter is not bad if you don't mind putting $6,000 into it. Once you cross that, once you get over that hurdle, 6 liters is a pretty good engine. John Myers asked a good question. Do you have to electrically isolate the crane from the load from the crane if they're welding on the load? Absolutely. I put nylon sling in. One time I was on a job and they were getting ready to do some, or actually they had started doing some welding, and I had all steel rigging on, and I stopped them in a hurry and made them put an isolator in. There's many thousands of dollars worth of computers right behind my back, and the last thing I want to do is smoke one of them. Tom Adolph says, thanks so much for putting up videos on your channel. I look forward to watching you daily. I appreciate that, Tom, and welcome to the channel. Triple X says, love the channel. Where are the limits for lightning in the area, as lightning can travel pretty far from the storm? Triple X, thanks for that. My limit's 20 miles. If there's lightning within 20 miles, I get the boom out of the air. Rogue Excavating says, me and the wife are going to do a tour of the States. Hope to stop in and meet some of the people in person I've met on YouTube. Rogue, you're always welcome at my house, my friend. Mike Manfred says, okay, peeps, we have 56 people on the stream and only 33 likes. If you like Jimmy's stream, spread the likes. I appreciate that, Mike. Rogue Excavating, I have a fear of rejection, so I don't do live streams. LOL. I used to have a fear of cameras, and that's obviously gone now. Leader Earthworks, you'd fit right in on my stream, Rogue. Yeah, it's just one of those things you got to just do it and see how it goes. Jade Elite, do you have a hammer? I liked the video where Elite was changing some bushings and he was using a claw hammer, like a framing hammer. So he has since, I think, bought himself a couple decent hammers. Matt DJ01, you mentioned union. Do other union halls call you up to do work for some other crane companies? If I wasn't working where I am, I would be on a list that they would call me and go work for other companies. Then I have done that. I've worked out of the hall where they just dispatch me to whoever needed a crane operator. I don't necessarily mind doing that, but where I'm at, I'm 15 minutes from my house. You know, our shop's 15 minutes from my house, so that has a lot to do with it. Before I was driving back and forth to Kansas City, so I'm gonna pretty well stay put where I'm at. Elite Earthworks, I have. If I can run down the old Snap-on truck, Elite, I will buy you a hammer that will help a great deal on your pin driving. Rogue Excavating, Jimmy, you had a. I don't know if I'm not sure. You had a typo in there, Rogue. It says you had something. I don't know if I can watch you anymore. So retype that. I'm not sure what word you fat fingered there. Digging okay. J80 sent me some awesome hard-faced teeth. They'll probably outlive me. That's cool. TJ Hardy, rule number 1, you never take a claw hammer to a millwright job. Better than the hammer Jason works like used on wifey's Ford. That's true. That's the kind of stuff that makes Jason's channel funny. He's comical, and he throws some of those little subtle things. And that plastic hammer wasn't too subtle, but he's a funny guy. Elite Earthworks, I've got some unbreakable hammer off the tool truck. There's no such thing as an unbreakable hammer. Trust me. You send it up here, I'll give it to some people at work. I guarantee they can tear it up. All righty, everybody. It is, let's see, we got another one. You got any career goals or where do people in your field end up? I'll probably just retire sitting in the seat of a crane. So that I enjoy what I do. Some days it's very stressful, but I enjoy it. And if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Elite Earthworks, it's $100. I've tried and have failed so far. I'm telling you, I work with some guys. They can tear up an anvil in a sandbox. But it is almost 10 after 8. We ran over a little bit, which is no worries. But I'm going to go spend some time with the family. I'm going to stay up late tonight so I can sleep in tomorrow. And then that way I can stay up late tomorrow night since I'm going to be working in the dark. Dalton Feeks, do you have any more videos coming up on your Cummins? I think I've got some Dodge or some truck footage I can get thrown out there, but if you want some more Cummins videos, I can get them out there. But everybody, have a good work week. Be safe out there. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for all of your support. William McKelvey just showed up from Idaho. How are you doing from Missouri? Unfortunately, I'm getting ready to shut this thing down. But I appreciate everybody being on here. The thumbs up button does help as far as YouTube recommending channels and whatnot. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that, would be great. Spread the word to all your friends. Everything you guys do helps the channel, and I appreciate it. So with that being said, if you guys have anything you want to see, throw it in a comment on another video, shoot me an email, whatever. I'll try to get it out there. Everybody have a good night. To the Top Crane is out.